Well, I would ask if you're going to talk to Senator Williams, talk outside.
I'm just saying to Senator Williams, you see the hard interviews of Julia Gillard all the time.
Yeah, well, I think we could go to, a whole range of areas there, and you can ask questions about that.
It runs and hides.
Sorry, Mr. Scott.
Go to Indonesia all the way for votes with SBY.
Well, Senator MacDonald, if this continues, I'll adjourn the committee. Okay. Senator Conroy, order. Senator MacDonald, if you don't desist, the committee will adjourn. Okay? Mr. Scott.
So, Senator,
Palestine and Israel, to which he answered, and I quote, 6 million, that's my answer, write that down. Now, I'm sure the figure 6 million will not be lost on us. Can I simply ask, do you find that to be an outrageous comment and unacceptable?
Well, Senator, my understanding of this, and I've just seen references, I think there was a reference made to it in Mr. Bolt's blog that somebody pointed out to me. A comment that I understand Mr. Lowenstein has apologised for, and I'm certainly not going to attempt to defend it. Nor should I point out is Mr. Lowenstein an employee of the ABC. As you point out, he has appeared a guest on our programs, but my understanding he's not an employee.
Yeah, but he gets paid a fee from time to time for those appearances?
I'd have to check on that, Senator. I don't know. All I know is that there are, the ABC, as you know, Senator, with domestically our 4 television networks, our 60 local radio stations, our 5 national networks, we have thousands of people rolling through our programs. And from time to time, I am encouraged to discipline or remove from our staff people who appear as guests. They are guests, Senator, and in a sense, our accountability for what people who appear as guests from time to time say is very different. So our accountability for our staff.
I understand that. Yeah. It took Mr. Lowenstein 5 weeks to apologise. Finally, on the 28th of September, he apologised. But, Mr. Scott, do you remember telling us once before it is essential that the ABC can have confidence that all panellists, this talking about insiders, will behave in a professional and editorially sound manner?
I think I recall the circumstance we were discussing.
And, of course, that was part of the rationale as to why Mr. Milne would no longer be engaged because of the column he had written in the Australian newspaper.
I think, Senator, and I haven't refreshed myself on the material, but as I recall, there were a number of columns and issues that have been raised that had caused a level of disquiet amongst the production team there in Insiders. So they made that editorial judgment, yes.
But it was connected with his column in the Australian about Ms. Gillard and the AWU
there had been a number.
scandal.
I think there had been. Senator, as I recall, there had been a number of columns. Don't want to disparage Mr. Milne in any way, but as I understand, there have been a number of columns, and of course, the nature of the commentary on insiders would go centrally to the substance that he was covering in his columns. As I recall, this was a while ago now, and so that was the background of the context.
It was it was within the week of that column that the ABC took that decision. Now, in the scheme of things, Mr. Milne's column, in comparison to Mr. Lowenstein's offensive comment, which remained in the ether for 5 weeks before an apology was finally dragged out of him, is the ABC willing to continue to have Mr. Lowenstein appear as a credible panellist on its programs?
Let me say that decision was made, I think, at the editorial level of Insiders. First I became aware of this incident was this afternoon, I can take that question on notice, but I understand this was a very offensive statement made, and I also understand an apology was made. But I'll also say to you that, of course, he's not an employee of the ABC.
Yeah, Alan Jones apologised. How quickly? This is 5 weeks later.
Alan Jones is not an employee of the ABC.
We understand that, but just in the scheme of things and time frameworks, let's just remember this took 5 weeks for that apology, and it offended a substantial proportion of the Australian population, if not all of it, and yet we seem to be willing to have him continue as an ABC panellist. But look, let me move on and ask whether you